An event of extraordinary intimacy and symbolism unfolded just 14 minutes ago, sparking an outpouring of reactions across ARMY communities worldwide. Jin, the eldest member of BTS, was revealed to be the very first person to deliver a birthday gift to Jungkook, and the contents of that gift have left fans in disbelief. The question that now dominates every conversation is simple yet electrifying. Why was Jin the first, and what exactly did he give that moved Jungkook to tears? The situation became even more dramatic when reports surfaced that Jin had personally visited Jungkook's apartment in complete secrecy. Without the noise of publicity, without the interference of cameras, and without the aura of spectacle that usually surrounds idols of their stature, Jin chose to make this moment private. According to accounts circulating within ARMY circles, Jungkook, upon opening the gift, was unable to contain his emotions and cried. What could possibly have been so powerful about the gesture that it reduced the group's youngest member to tears? The mere fact that Jin acted before anyone else has heightened the gravity of this moment. In BTS, the bond between members is often celebrated as unshakable, yet the decision of Jin to move first, without waiting for formal celebrations, public schedules, or orchestrated events, has been interpreted as a profound declaration of his relationship with Jungkook. It was not about extravagance. It was not about public display. It was about timing, sincerity, and the weight of being the first. For many ARMY, the act carries deeper symbolism. Jin, often described as the group's pillar of warmth and maturity, chose to bridge his seniority and Jungkook's youth through a gesture that spoke volumes beyond material value. It was not the cost of the gift that shocked fans. It was the meaning embedded in its presentation. The secrecy of his visit has also raised pressing questions. Why would Jin go to such lengths to ensure the privacy of this moment? Why was it so important that no one else was there to witness it, except Jungkook himself? As fans dissect every angle, speculation has intensified. Some argue that Jin wanted to remind Jungkook of his constant presence, a quiet reassurance that even amid the chaos of global stardom, the bond between them remains unshaken. Others interpret it as a form of silent mentorship. Jin, the first to enter BTS and the eldest among them, symbolically opening Jungkook's new year of life with a gesture that anchored him to his roots. The emotional aftermath within Jungkook himself only adds fuel to the intrigue. Why did he cry? Was it simply the intimacy of Jin's visit, or was there something within the gift that struck a chord too deep to ignore? Witnesses claim Jungkook was visibly overwhelmed, but no details have been disclosed about the exact item. Instead, ARMY is left with fragments of information, piecing together theories. Was it an object tied to their shared history? A letter written by Jin's own hand? Or perhaps something even more personal, carrying memories known only to the two of them? The timing of Jin's gesture also cannot be ignored. Delivering the first gift is not just an act of affection, it is an act of precedence. In cultures worldwide, to be the first to honor someone on their birthday often carries special significance. It establishes a unique position in the hierarchy of relationships, and in this case, Jin made certain he was the one to hold it. Why he chose to act so swiftly 14 minutes before anyone else had the chance remains part of the enigma. Was it carefully planned? Or was it an impulse driven by raw emotion? This event, while private in execution, has become public in consequence. ARMY across platforms has erupted into debate, some expressing admiration at Jin's thoughtfulness, others expressing astonishment that Jungkook's response was so deeply emotional. Theories, screenshots, and timelines have flooded social media as fans attempt to map the exact sequence of events. It is not just the fact that a gift was given, but the secrecy, the timing, and the reaction that combined to make this moment historic within BTS's ongoing narrative. The gravity of the situation is heightened by the absence of official statements. Neither Jin nor Jungkook has offered clarification, and perhaps that is precisely what intensifies the impact. In the silence of facts, speculation thrives, and ARMY's emotional investment deepens. Without confirmation, every possibility seems valid, and the mystery of the gift has become almost as significant as the gift itself. And the wider context of BTS's journey, the symbolism of Jin's act takes on even more weight. Jin, who has weathered the trials of leadership and the challenges of being the eldest, has often carried the group in moments of uncertainty. For him to move quietly, without spectacle, toward Jungkook on such an occasion demonstrates not only personal affection but also a reminder of the group's foundation: unity, care, and unspoken understanding. Observers have noted that Jin's timing also coincides with heightened public attention on BTS's individual activities. At a moment when each member is carving distinct paths, Jin's decision to focus inward, toward Jungkook, rather than outward, toward public recognition, speaks volumes. It suggests that while the world speculates about separations, projects, and solo achievements, the bond within BTS is being quietly reaffirmed behind closed doors. The emotional image of Jungkook crying, whether from gratitude, nostalgia, or sheer emotional weight, has now etched itself into the consciousness of fans. It is a rare glimpse into the humanity behind the global phenomenon. Despite the scale of their fame, despite the vastness of their audiences, at the heart of BTS are moments like these. One brother giving a gift to another, in silence, away from the crowd, and moving him to tears, and yet, questions remain unanswered. What exactly did Jin give? Why did Jungkook's reaction transcend simple happiness into visible emotion? Was this a gift that tied back to their earliest days together? A reminder of struggles shared before global stardom? Or was it something entirely new, symbolizing a hope for the future? In the absence of clarity, one thing is certain: the world is watching, and ARMY has been left both shocked and deeply moved. Jin's decision to be the first and Jungkook's raw response has transformed a private gesture into a public phenomenon. The story is not simply about a birthday gift. It is about timing, secrecy, and the undeniable emotional gravity between two individuals whose bond has always transcended the stage. What began 14 minutes ago as a quiet visit has now become one of the most talked about events in the ARMY universe. And until the mystery of the gift is revealed, one question will continue to dominate every conversation. What did Jin give Jungkook that brought him to tears? And why did Jin ensure he was the first to do it?